I always hear that funny tone on Skype when the vibration starts to rise.
I was gonna say
It's
that.
almost like that happens when I work on Skype, when we start to hit higher vibrations. It's kind of funny.
This is beautiful. So, two beautiful light beings coming together on this sacred
Yes.
expression show. Wonderful. And welcome everyone. And if the vibration and the tones they come, welcome them. It is really there. Even the tones that you may think are disturbing you, they're not. They're moving you up. They're moving up the vibration into the higher levels, and at the same time, we're able to expand and come into all together. Whoever you are out there, joining Ana La Rai today with me, Meilin, we together built this beautiful bowl or even spiral to create in this conversation, and as we express each other in the moment and connect to everyone who's gonna feel this energy by listening, by viewing this show, or just feeling what is emanated by everyone. Um, this
I
is
love
rising that.
I love when you and I come together because this is really only the third time we've connected, and I feel the energy start to build right away, and it's very synchronistic, but it's also really exciting because I have a sense of what's coming, but then there's this co-creation between you and I, Mylene, that just seems to happen as the energy builds, which is lovely. And then, of course, all the listeners add into it, and it's like this almost like this magic rocket ship is what it feels like.
Oh, it is the light ship, right?
Yeah,
And if you think
yeah.
about you're all the way on the Pacific coast, right? And I'm here in Germany, and we'll speak later probably about also you coming now next week to Germany. And this is the fascinating part. A friend of ours just connected us, thought we would fit, and we did. So I thank Amanda, and I encourage everyone else, if you sense that people should come together, don't be afraid to bring them together. Don't think the other one or one of them would not say, welcome them, because we all do. It is now the time where we brought together to rise together, to
Yes.
connect together, to support each other, and to embrace each
And
other.
and and I always find that when we get to meet new people, or maybe old friends from our life come back, or people we've known, there's this new co-creation that's happening in these vibrations now. And I was excited when Amanda told me about you, but it's like when our hearts connect and our energies connect, it's like, wow, okay, we're really supposed to meet. And I'm excited because I actually get to meet you. So yeah, I fly into Germany I arrive next Monday. And so I'm looking forward to getting out to play and actually, because I do a lot of work by distance, as I know you do with your shows and everything. But there's always this added extra when you get together in the physical, that just that little extra piece that is so much fun. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next week too. We'll keep
Yeah,
you posted, everybody.
yeah, that's the inkling. So I'm very excited. The moment you called, I had that feeling to see you. And I first thought to come to Italy. I said, no, no, no. And then you mentioned you're coming to Munich, which is about an hour and a half away from Nuremberg. So I'm coming Wednesday. It's going to spend with you a whole day and see what happens.
I
Show you
know.
some secret sites or sacred sites in Munich, even in these beautiful old cities. There are a lot of little pockets, the river that runs through, birds, and old trees um, that have met many other beings. So I'm gonna go show you those little treasures as well. Before you go on to you have another reason why you came, right? To go to Italy to hold a seminar or a retreat, right?
Yes, it's the I'm going to Italy to do a 3-day workshop on energy healing, and then I'm staying and doing 2 days of private sessions for both energy work or energy shifting and readings. But it's so cool because this all came about in 6 weeks because someone else was unable to do the workshop that had been booked for many months. And I love the way all of those synchronicities work, that I got a call from Christian, and he got a call from Sylvia, and boom, 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 all of a sudden I'm booked to go to Italy, and I happen to have that time frame open, and now we get to meet in Germany. So it's just, I love how when you go with the flow, and how to me, one of the things I learned, Meilin, is that I would share with everyone is say yes. When people talk about getting together, or when spirit asks you to do something, or opportunities come up, say yes, because my life wouldn't be where it is now if I didn't say yes so often, and who knows what else is going to happen. That's the being in the flow that is so powerful. And I think that it's always been powerful, but in these times with the frequencies and the vibrations coming onto planet Earth, I feel like source energy, that when we say yes, and when we consciously say yes, there's more opportunities happening now for people like yourself and myself and your listeners and people we know, because it's as though we are being able to be utilized more by source or the heavens or whatever all that is, to co-create and bring forth new vibrations here every chance we get. And so it's pretty exciting times.
Yeah, I'm right on. It's the moment when we step back and look and are aware that we don't fall into the triggers that we normally do. Is, oh no, I can't, what happens? Is when, yes, exactly as you say, we say yes. Even it had happened to me often, last year especially. I said yes, and I didn't know how I should open up for me to travel, right, to be at certain places. But I felt it. So connect, everyone, connect to your body. When you feel the yes within, then say yes to it and move on it, act on it. Because often things unfold that we cannot even fathom. Yeah? Right, when I got that email, she's come, I didn't fathom I'll be in Munich. And whatever is going to happen in Munich is going to be very exciting. I already feel it, yeah? And in the future, and it builds up. This is a connection of two light beings. And I think sometimes we know each other in our other form, right? And we're here just to 3D to intensify. So when we come together in 3D, we intensify something that we envision, and then everything else can synchronize to us, right? So I believe that everything around us synchronizes and moves with us. Yeah. And that is the exciting feeling.
Well, when we spoke last week, what was also, exactly what we're talking about is I'm planning to do this workshop, and I'll be honest, I don't very often do agendas, because to me an agenda for a workshop or a retreat is limiting. Like when I do my work with my week-long retreats with the Alchemy, there's never an agenda, because we work in whatever the highest vibration is in this moment with the people who are here. And if you set an agenda a year in advance, all those, to me that limits what you can do. So but I had to set an agenda for this, because the person who was running it before did, and how people in the 3D want to know what they're going to learn. So I did an agenda, which was really strange for me. But it's like, okay, I can do this. And then when we talked last week, I haven't worked with the beings of the mountains, and the beings of the mountains came through, as you heard on your show in the channel, and said, okay, we're ready to open up new interdimensional healing chambers that are buried in the mountains when you get here. And I'm like, wow, okay, I'm coming for this workshop, but maybe the workshop really isn't what I'm coming for. It is, but it is, all these pieces adding together, and it feels like when we get together, another piece of that will come forward. And but that's why the saying yes to me is so much fun. Yeah. There's a trust and a faith that it's like, okay, maybe I don't understand it, and maybe I think, okay, maybe I have all these reasons why I could do something else. But when you really go into your heart and go into the faith and the trust of it all and the vibration of it all, as you say, like when you feel it in your body, then go for it, even when the head is kind of giving you all kinds of doubts.
Yeah, that was really, I thought that was an amazing, a beautiful moment when the mountain spirits came through, the mountain beings, you call them. And on the radio show, I told everyone I understood why. First of all, I'm fascinated by caves, and I had been channeling a keeper of a cave temple that is rising. And on the internet this week, I found that a young man also got the downloads where to look to align for a science project in Canada, to align that the temples are all aligned with the Pleiades or other star constellations. Sorry, and they were able to find Mayan temples now, so they are going to do. So that means all the sacred sites are shining, and it is so funny. The way you're driving to Italy is past Salzburg, and that there is a mountain bowl by a few 2,000 plus meters mountain, where there have been just the recent years huge awakening of mountain spirits. Star beings have come and shown themselves. We were able to photograph them. I had my initiation with the boulder there. And also there are sacred places, sites in the woods opened up that are bringing knowledge of ancient civilizations that have lived before, and are bringing new language or new intensity of language, a few codes for us to understand, to shift a little bit as well. So you're driving back then, where you're going to go in northern Italy, there are many places like this too, where people have gone into temples and had, how do you call it? You go in and you come out a few years later and you didn't know you had been in the mountain so long, because you've been in vortexes, in gates. So this is going to be very surprising for you. You know, they just opened up those spirits for you for the first time, or these beings spoke through you. But the wisdom and knowledge they're giving you is really for you to open even other gates, because the travel, you're emanating not just, and that's important, I think, that we neglect as many light workers. What I've noticed, they always say, oh, I'm being moved, but it's our personality, our beingness, we combine, we emanate also all our knowledge out for others to learn or synchronize, right? Or adjust their vibration to us, so we help them raise without even a spoken word. So I can't wait. We have to speak when you're back from your trip. How many gates, how many people you've met that carry that knowledge. So it's probably even people at your retreat that know about places, and you may walk and your body moves you right to a cave or a place for you to be, so it can open up. So I think I find it, you see, it excites me to old sacred places and old sacred landscapes is something that really touches me very deeply, and bringing out those ancient knowledges.
Yeah, it's really exciting for me too, and it's interesting because something else happened since I talked to you last that I'll share with you, is that when we did the alchemy call, and as you know, I do every week pretty much a live channel with the alchemy that's open to everyone, and they're a collective consciousness that come at the time of transition for a planet and a people. So this time on last week, and it's posted up on our site, on the Alchemy's website, the ogres came through, and it was interesting because we had talked about mountain stuff the week before, and the ogres are light beings that are completely misunderstood, and they're not the ferocious creatures that we all think they are, and so there was some clarification around that. But they're creatures of great wisdom.
Yeah.
And
Right.
anyway, what they did, and I would really, if people want to go on to the alchemycollective.org website, they can hear this channel. But what they did is they asked us all to hold a crystal. And basically what happened, and this is all after the mountain beings came through, is they activated crystals on planet Earth to a deeper level of communication and releasing of the next layer of knowledge for everybody. So people got to hold personal crystals and have it happen, and it's happening on the planet now, where a new layer of information, of wisdom, is being released through all the crystal kingdom. And they talked about how the different crystals hold different information, and that, let's say, before you knew that citrine meant A, B, and C, well, don't hang on to that anymore, because it might only mean B and F and G. And so it's been really interesting to sit with my crystal and just feel the energy that is emanating now. So if any of your listeners really resonate with crystals, go back to your crystals now and start to feel, because they're releasing new information and new layers of wisdom for us now, with all the vibrations. And it really felt connected to the beings in the mountain, in terms of, because that's where so many of the crystals are found.
Right. There you go. Salzburg, there are a lot of Austrian crystals, or mountain
Uh-huh.
crystals, and Italy as well. They had northern Italy. They have some. I don't know. In Germany, we have so many. We have salts, but not so many crystals. But even here, people are finding in other areas where it's said that things are rising. And I don't know if you knew that, but in Brazil a few years ago, right, the crystals suddenly all rose. They came out of the earth, and the workers were afraid and ran away. They couldn't understand what was happening, and it was so funny. I was at a light conference on Hawaii. When was it? 2012. Yeah. And there I got, at that time I didn't have so many ideas about star beings or crystals at all. And a man came to me and handed me a beautiful piece of his Brazilian crystal. And the moment when I heard the story that it had written, I said, oh no, I had one of those. I passed it on to someone. And I said, wow, this is really fascinating. And so other areas too, you were talking about the caves, and I'm going to speak about Austria because I know a little bit more than northern Italy. They're finding underneath huge cave systems and tunnel systems that have been thousands of years old, or even 10,000. And that is really interesting. Or also there has been caves, there's this Venus statue. She has no head, but she's has big breasts and then a very tight waist, right? And she's 35,000 years old. She's been found in a cave in southern Germany, in an area of Ulm. And also there they have, more and more people are exploring these caves. Many of them are filled with water to pull in what it is. And it's these beautiful blues, and also the water is rising in many places and coming out. And then it's more healing water that has not been so contaminated, to provide this healing. And as you said, these vibrations that are coming down now, or through the crystals or whatever else, we are adjusting. Our body has been adjusting to them.
Yes.
And we have been able to transform, right, into those frequencies to hold those new frequencies, let's say this new wisdom, and digest and start to work with it.
Yeah, it's so intriguing, because there just seems to be so many new things opening up for all of us. On the higher realms, but also on planet Earth. And, whether it be new layers of wisdom from the crystals, and they talked about new crystals coming forth, finding the new caves. And the frequencies that are coming. It's just another thing that the ogres said this week was that they talked about the connection between the trees and the network of the trees. And of course, we know that on some level, but that how they were all connected across planet Earth, and that now they too are willing to release a deeper level of wisdom. So to go out and sit with the trees, to find a tree that you really resonate with, whether it be one near your house or in a park or way off in the forest, and that now that downloads are available, newer downloads are available as well. And so it's almost hard to keep up with so much because there's so many new things opening up. But I also know that each of us resonates differently with different areas where the wisdom is going to come. So I might be drawn to the crystals, and you might be drawn to the caves, and someone else might be drawn to the trees, and someone else to somewhere else. And I love that it's all coming now at such a fast pace.
Yes, you're right. And it is so fun to explore with each other our different gifts and
Yes.
to connect, because it's also a puzzle piece. So I invite everyone who's also listening is to share your puzzle pieces, because someone else has another piece. So this new picture or this larger picture, it can be seen, be viewed, can be felt.
Yeah. And I think, as I think I said to you before, to me, it's really the time on planet Earth where all the puzzle pieces are coming together to see a bigger picture. And it's really time, what I love about you and I chatting is it's really time for people's work to overlap, to connect the pieces together, because I really believe, you can only go so far as an individual, no matter how high you vibrate. Now it's about moving into group consciousness or oneness and connecting with more people, which adds more power and more grace, but it's like bringing it all together. And we don't know what that looks like. We maybe have some hopes and some dreams about that, but as we all come together with our different, you're right, wisdoms and pieces of the puzzle, it's like something we can't imagine is being built.
Yeah. It's in a way, we're being ignited. We ignite each other. We have a dog. He's bringing his energy to the show.
She's in another part of the house. Sorry.
Yeah, no, please don't. Sometimes I have my cats. They want to come in when they want to be present, and normally I say sometimes they're on my shoulder. Oh, I have to get up and open the door, and it's so fitting. Sometimes Puccini walks in. He's more the physical healer, or Judy's when the star beings come. But this ignition, that we ignite each other, there is something that like a little fire is put there, so all these little explosions can start that get us each other inspired. And for that, a sound is coming to inspire everyone to connect and to ignite each other. I love that. I just love that. And I see all these sparkles going everywhere. So here, this is for everyone. ignition
it's so
song.
joyful.
I thought so
It's
too.
so joyful.
Oh,
Mm.
and
Thank you. That felt beautiful.
yeah, so everyone soaked it in. It was like the celebration of being together. Men,
Yeah.
women, all ages. I could feel children. It was like dancing together, holding hands. Yeah, also in larger gatherings. And I think, Ana La Rai, more of those larger gatherings are going to happen, and people are starting to organize them. And wow, to bring this vibrancy back into our life. And so we
Yeah.
can allow each other and ourselves to live that vibrancy without thinking of fearing judgment. Yeah.
Well, and I find, like I do week-long retreats with the Alchemy, and we did one a couple months ago in Mexico, and our next one's in Nova Scotia at the end of September, on the east coast of Canada, the opposite part where I live. And I agree, like when people come together, especially when they come together in conscious awareness, so they really choose to come together, there is a vibration, in my experience, where everything adds up to more than it should be.
Yeah.
And you get to experience fifth and higher dimensional times while we're in physical form. And it was so amazing when we were in Mexico, because I watched, nobody had any ego. Everybody was supportive. There were different personalities, but everybody there was no judgment. It was just coming together. And the longer you spent the time together, as each day moved forward, people were more loving and more open, and the vibration just kept going up and up and up and up. And then you just felt this vibration of connection and oneness. And you knew you were an individual, but you felt so loving towards everyone else. And I think everybody should get to experience that, because it's that real reminder of who we are. And it's so different to what we can experience on the difficult days down here.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been speaking about community.
Yes.
In the same way. We're not made to live alone in apartments, in houses, pulled apart. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the family per se that you're born into, but create like-minded or by vibration or whatever. And it really, what happens when you come together is like, when I can let go. I experienced it also, like 40 people for 2 weeks for the first time, really, in April, end of April. It was magical. The love, the feeling of being loved, and for people to see you and to look really deep in you, within you. And I could be who I was, and I don't know, and move about as I was. That was a very nice feeling. And I think more and more that is coming, especially the young generations. They're creating that a lot,
Well, and the nice thing is too, is you don't have to filter your language.
Yeah.
So, I might talk about star beings or ogres or angels, but if I'm out in my community where I live, those might not be the words I use. And all of a sudden to have no filters in terms of who you are. And you're right, the fact that people can actually see your light and see you and feel your vibration is really quite profound.
Yeah, and it comes more easily, yeah, right? If you have experienced one, that you don't censor yourself anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
I remember I learned when Thilo was in kindergarten, and he was in Munich in a Waldkindergarten. It was a beautiful year and a half there. They were outside most of the time. And I was coming, I said, I have a choice, I was thinking. I can tell the mothers what I do, and that I go to shamanic weekends, or, I do some work or channeled paintings, or not. And what I found so beautiful, and really what surprised me, is the more I opened and spoke about myself, I gave them an opportunity to speak about things they would have not been able to speak, or were uncomfortable, or maybe they were holding back. So that's where really I learned, the more I open up, others can open up. That still carries me along.
That's beautiful. And I think sometimes we forget, yeah, we're afraid that people won't accept us or, understand. And you're right. When you stand in your own strength and your own power and who you really are, it doesn't really matter. And I love what you said, because it really does show people the way and allows them to be who they are, no matter who that is. Who it is doesn't matter. It's that they get to be who they are, and we get to love them for that. And that's a cool piece of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, as I have you on the show, if there is anything that comes through you, a channel that you would love to gift to the world.
Okay, so let me just see who wants to come through.
Okay.
Just 1 second here. Oh, the Alchemy would like to come through, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just see here. So I'm just going to ask everyone to close their eyes and take a deep breath and just connect to the light. We are the Alchemy, and on this day we greet you. We are a collective consciousness of beings from across time and space. We come at the time of transition for a planet and a people. We come to co-create, to assist, and to support. We work within the divine plan. And we invite you this day and all days forward to join with us as we assist in raising the vibrations on planet Earth. We share with you that we do not come to save you, for this is not our task. We come to co-create, for as part of the divine plan, when a planet and a people are ready to transition, there must be what you call feet on the ground. There must be those who are willing, living on the planet, to be conduits for the higher vibrations, for the frequencies and the changes. So we ask you now to take a moment and, as you can see, our beloved ribbons, the one you call Ana La Rai, see or feel now as we connect through her heart and send out purple ribbons to each of you. These ribbons are high vibration that will just connect with your heart for a few moments and dissolve when this message completes. We work in group consciousness, for there is greater power, grace, and ease. And that connection and group consciousness is what is at the source of all that you are. So we ask to take but a moment and connect with each of you now, and see or feel or simply trust now as a purple ray or ribbon travels from Ana La Rai's heart and connects with your heart now. And see or feel now as we increase the vibrational frequency and the love and light we send to you now through this purple ribbon. And we invite you, if you wish, to simply receive this love and frequency now. And since we have so many of you listening these days, if you agree, we would take the opportunity through you, wherever you are on planet Earth, to send more love and light to the planet. So simply, if you agree, a conscious yes or no, yes. And feel now as we bring through, entering through your crown chakra, a golden ray filled with sparkles of light. And feel as this golden ray travels down your body and into the earth below your feet. Our beloved Ribbons always says that this is sparkleizing everything, and we like this terminology, beloveds. So allow these sparkles to flow through your beingness and fill your heart with joy. And feel as they travel through the organs of the physical form and down into the earth. And you may direct them if you wish, but know that they will flow where they are to go. And as these sparkles and vibration move through you, know that you receive all the benefits of this light and love. We shall say, it is a little bit like brushing your teeth. You're getting a quick little cleansing, and we'll have more sparkle when we are done. But we thank you for allowing this. For those of you with great vision can see how this vibration is traveling into the earth and the waters, connecting with grids that are already in place, connecting with specific cache points within the earth, connecting with the crystal kingdom and the purified waters still within the earth. Just allow this to continue to flow. And we ask you to take but a moment and focus your attention on the Northern Alps, in the place in Italy where our beloved Ribbons will be holding her workshop, where the mountains that hold the healing chambers will be awakened. And simply send some of these golden liquid sparkles into these regions now. For this too is a layer of the awakening for what is to come. We thank you, beloved, for your service this day, for your support. And we invite you to join us weekly. Feel now as the purple ray or ribbon connected to your heart slowly dissolves. And as our gift to you in gratitude, feel as some of these golden sparkles, if you wish them to, shall remain in your heart to continue to work with you and working with your own vibration. We are the alchemy, and our blessings to each of you this day.
Very, very beautiful.
And I shall just let you know, the alchemy has added a call a month that is in a time frame for Europeans. So our next one on the 19th of July, I think it's around 7 in the evening for most of you in Europe. So that because our calls are in Pacific time at 6:30, which is about 3:30 in the morning. So we have some people who do get up at 3:30 in the morning European time. But our next call is tomorrow night. So for those of you who are not in Europe, it's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you can just register through the Alchemy. Our website is the alchemycollective.org, and you can. And the calls are free, and they're about an hour, and we do divine service the whole time. So, yes,
because
thanks.
I'm one who gets up often in the middle of the night to connect with Pacific time in Canada and the US. So that's a generous gift. And I'll put notes also on the video for people to find this. There was something very beautiful that came through for you, Ana La Rai. When you said when your name was mentioned, and you're going now to Italy, there is an Italian television station. It's spelled R-A-I, Rai. And when I was getting that you will be one day on that television station. Wow, I thought so too. I said, woo!
That'll be fun.
Wonderful. I mean, magic happens, see?
It does. I'll just share something really funny with you about that, how spirit works, because I was in California last year, and I was doing an open session at someone's home, and she had advertised it, and it was to introduce people to the alchemy.
Yeah.
And so this one girl lived, and it was in Southern California, and this other woman that was thinking about going lived in Mexico, just across the border. So it was about an hour drive for her to go. And she kept saying, well, I don't know if I should go. So Spirit, show me a sign. Well, I had gone whale watching, which is one of my favorite things to do that day, and with a friend I was staying with. And we happened to see, I had never ever seen a blue whale. And we saw the first blue whale of the season. So I had never seen one. They hadn't been back that year yet. And there were TV reporters as we came off the boat, because it was big news in the area. And, well, wouldn't you know, the first people off the boat didn't want to be interviewed. Well, and so they asked me about it. So I said my name and talked about seeing the whales and how exciting it was. So this woman in Mexico kept saying, well, I don't know if I should go. I need a sign. She turned on the TV, and I was on the news. And, you know, like, what are the chances of, like, how does that happen? So when you say that, you know, that's going to happen, it's like, okay, I just trust that all this is really true. But it was kind of that thing to me. I'm like, wow, does spirit work in amazing ways? Like, what are any of the chances that would have happened? So,
yeah,
thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I have to get cable or satellite just to watch you then. When that moment happens, or I have to drive to Italy for that day. That will be celebration and something beautiful to
Yeah.
happen, right? Yeah. And
Wonderful.
so thank you in a way. This was a beautiful conversation, and I want to let the listeners know that we two are going to come together, right, Ana La Rai? And we're going to get together one more time when she's back from Italy, and in a little different version. It's so for you, the listener or viewer, you can come and ask questions. So there will be a live show where you can come in and get a healing, a song, or a transmission, a channel from Ana La Rai, whatever comes in the moment. But I think it will be fun, and we have a lot of new stories and something to build up on, and of that Italy trip, and some experience we can share with you that appear next Wednesday. And in Munich together, right? And many others for you, I bet. That was going to be
I think that'll be that'll be lots of fun.
right. So
Well, thank you so much, Meilin, and I really look forward to connecting with you next Wednesday.
wonderful. So thank you everyone for listening and watching the Sacred Expression show. This is Meilin, and with our beautiful, magical channel being, light being, and being so open. Really thank you for trusting yourself and inspiring others, for being so open and not afraid of letting this vastness. It is really a vastness of channels to come through, and to be so open that you don't censor yourself. Yeah. And this is what is really inspiring. I think so many, I've heard sometimes people are afraid, but when they see you, when they feel you, and notice with what ease and with what beauty you carry yourself and those messages as they're spoken, it's very natural. So it's beautiful to see that. And I want to thank you very, very deep from my heart for that.
Well, you're most welcome, and I feel the same way. I'm so excited and grateful for meeting you and all you're doing. So thank you, and I see you next week.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.